Yeah, 22. Yeah, I was asked to do this video, so I'm gonna do this video. Anyways, man, this for anybody just out there just trying to get custody of your kids and just want to know how it go. Um, I'm gonna run it down to you. Me myself, my situation was just a little, maybe different, maybe similar to yours. Whoever watching it, maybe similar to yours. Whoever watching this, but I basically, just like y'all, wanted custody of my child. Couldn't get custody of my child, so I had to take steps in my own hand. Being that I don't like the courts, I don't like the police, and nothing like that. Child family courts is a little different. That's the court you'll be in, but how it basically go down is you file what's called a motion. You can go to your local you can go to your local courthouse and go get this. Notice motion. That's the key word, motion. So you go file a motion. Tell them state your reason why you want it in your motion, and you got to give your address. You got to give the person you taking the court address, your child's information. So that's a little tricky too if you don't know the child's information. But they can find it in the courts. The courts will contact the county and they'll track down your child if that's your child. My recommendation first before you go in there talking about can you get custody is go get the DNA test. Um, DNA test it it speeds it up, like it speeds the process up, and I really didn't find that out until I went to like the custody part of it. You know what I'm saying? The first judge you see is a majesty judge. That's when they put you on child support. The majesties, they only deal with money. Like they like, man, can you pay this? You pay this? What's your job? How long you been there? They only concern is money. So just because you paying child support, don't mean you're gonna get custody. You know what I'm saying? The custody papers look a lot different than the child support papers look they ain't that much. They like this big. The family stuff when you wanna what I'm saying, when you see, I think this is you gonna there's a lot of papers. This what the family court, like when you trying to get custody, the papers about this thick. The language changed a little bit. The 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 child support like 3 pages. This child support. Child support like 4 papers, like what I'm saying. Maybe 5 at the most, depending on where you like 4 or 5 papers. Way much thick. It's easy. Um, you could even so so child support. If child, you got an issue with child support, they taking too much from your check. You go to the file a motion for child support. Child support again doesn't get you custody. They just putting the numbers together. That's what they're gonna take from you. Um, and then after that, they come up with that. Then you go from there. You got to file another motion if you're doing this yourself. Now, if you got a lawyer, they'll do all this for you. But just if you're just to do it yourself and don't really want to pay nobody like I did, because it's really simple. You know, I feel like it's just arguing. Like if you go in front of the judge, they the mediator. They say, "Oh, this wrong or this right." They got a language they use. You got to pick up on the language. So I say to anybody, if you just getting on child support, if you just walking into family court, just understand the language. Because when you look at the child support stuff, you look at the family court stuff, the languages do this. They cross. So you're gonna start to pick up on that. So keep all your paperwork. And if you can go on Facebook every day and share and tag a picture, you can learn this. You know how to put filters on Instagram and Snapchat, man, you can definitely learn this. It's simple. It's certain stuff that tweak. But in your local circuit court, or your what humans what family services is, they got somebody for this that do it for free. But what I've learned, you can speed the process up yourself if you do it faster. Like right now, as we speak, I'm filing another motion to go back to court. I called a caseworker and she was like, "Well, it's gonna take this many days. I can go get it tomorrow. Like I can do the paperwork tonight and fill it out and take it tomorrow and get a court date. Possibly, if you're in a big city, it might take some time because there's more people in the population. So more people in the child support court. But if you're in a little town, 2 days, a day, you get your court date the same day. Um, two fellas, if you don't understand, like, why this is important, I'll tell you why. Getting custody is important for many reasons. Just because you sign a birth certificate, that don't make you the daddy. That family court, the family, this judge right here, the family and courts judge, these judges, not the child support people, these people right here, the the second line, the second line, that family and court division, them the people that grant you the custody. They say if you the father, not the birth certificate, not child support, them. So they gotta rock with you. And when you walk in there, they probably gonna strip you of all your rights because the mother she get it off the back unless you married or something. Then you get 50-50. You might get 50-50 with that. You might, depending on who you married to or whatever. However y'all work that out. That's marriage is different, but my situation, your situation, if you just, y'all ain't married or nothing like that, you might not get nothing. You got to fight for all that. If you want to get a jump on that, you got to do this class. Let me get this document for you. Hold on, I might got it right here. But the judge, they like to see that. Hold on for 1 second. This one right here. This if the court see you took this class, so you could be proactive. You can go take it before you go to child support court, or you go to the family and courts, or the family courts. This is gonna make more sense when you go into the family and courts. This right here it's a parent certificate through Catholic Charities if you're in my county, but they might got one where you at. Just look for like the co-parenting class. It's about 150. 175 or something like that, but it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. And then if it's court order, you get it for free. You know what I'm saying? I was stubborn the first time. I could have been ahead of the game, but I didn't take it. Not playing the game. It's a game, so you got to play the game. So this just shows that you know how to parent. Like, I'm like, man, I've been a father for 5 years. Man, that don't mean nothing. Look, in this case, in the new case, new rules apply. So if you got a parent and you trying to say, I already got a kid or I work with kids, man, no, none of that mean nothing. Got to go take a parenting class. Bring that in front of the judge. It's going to look good. That's how I got that was the deciding factor in my case. Like, she was like, oh, you know how to parent already? You proactive. Like, I ain't got to make you go take nothing. I was already ahead. I walked in there, paperwork up, credentials together. Second, know when you going for custody, know what's your narrative, why you want your child. Cause they gonna ask you, it ain't gonna be just no easy. I'm the child's daddy. You gotta have a narrative, so you can be like, and it's just an example. And I'm gonna tell you what I base mine off of. You can put it around the narrative of trauma. You could just be like, man, I think with my baby mama, my daughter gonna go through a lot of trauma, or my son gonna go through a lot of trauma, just because the mother's been traumatized and she don't even know it. She ain't seeking no therapy for trauma. Trauma is trauma could be passed down from your mama, your father, or whoever. Like, you just come from a traumatized situation. So like, like how parent discipline, you might not like how the like how she disciplined, but make sure you know your narrative when you talking, because when it comes to on record and them deliberating or whatever you put in that motion, they gonna ask you about that in that closing argument or that final decision. So just make sure you stick to your narrative, as they say. If you're in the streets and you go get bumped and you and your mans get bumped and they take him left and they stick to y'all story, do not change that story. Don't go in there asking for 50 and then they get to the closing argument, you like, I want 100. You changing your story. You making your story seem invalid. So stick to your story. And they kind of helped me with that. Like, you want what? And I'm like, oh, so stick to, I didn't know that going this, but stick to your story, stick to your narrative, whatever it is, just stick to that. They gonna ask you about you know your child's mother or whatever. You gonna have to you can bash them if you want. I don't believe in that because I came in there for the child, and I stated that in my motion when I first filed. I just said this is why I want the child. I'm black. She this. She another person of an ethnic group. She can't teach her black history. I come from a long line of strong black women. She can't get that from this side. So I really just put mine around the can't nobody teach me black history like I could teach, like I could teach mine, not even a school. So that's what I base mine off. We got tradition, we got culture, and I can't teach all that in no 3 hour visitation session. So let me get this 50%. I can keep on weekends and or 6 weeks after 6 months after year, and she can keep us 6 months, or we can go every other week, which is traditional. Every other week is traditional. It just makes sense, but you could go in there and ask for what you want for it, but just make sure you stick to that. And don't go in there. Another thing, fellas, don't not go in there with your act not together. The women, they'll try to bash you low key. So just how your stuff together. You have a car. If you got to travel to go get your shorty. I went in there in the gym. I was jammed up a little bit. I ain't had no car, and I accidentally said on file like, um, I might have transportation. Like how you might have transportation, you trying to go in there for your cut, So the judge, told me like, man, when you come back, man, have it together. So go in there with your eyes dotted and your T's crossed, man, and go in there with go in there with some support. Some people that know you best and they can speak on your behalf, because you can't have people come in and speak on your behalf. You can have if you're on probation, you can still get your shorty. It might hurt you, but your probation officer speaking on your behalf, saying you make a change. If you just had a caseworker, they can write a letter. People in the community, so you can get your community support up and have all them right to judges. And the car ain't gonna stop you, but I'm just saying, if the judge asking you questions and you trying to close the argument on why you should be in that child's life, you got to be able to provide child support. It's only based on three things, man: food, clothing, and shelter. It ain't even based on it ain't based on credentials. It's just based on, can you provide the three things: food, clothing, and shelter. The three things. So if you got them, because they gonna ask you if you got a job, how long you been there, um, and things of that nature. So that's what they're gonna attack you with. That's what they're gonna come at with you. That's what you're gonna be confronted with. So be ready to get that back and make sure you can answer yes to them questions. Um, Not to be all over the place. I'm just trying to see what else I'm missing. Um, what else? What else, man? Uh, Told y'all about the motions, who can support you, what it's based on. Um, yeah, and doing it yourself, you just speed up the process. So the faster you moving, the faster it go. Um, Try to stay away from bashing a woman. That don't really look good, because she coming in there. Bro, I think your brother at door B. Think I, don't go in that don't go in that don't go in that bashing. Don't go in that bashing them, because they already coming in with the up. So you want to just kind of stay away from that. But if you got to express yourself, and you need some dirt to sway your case, then that's what you got to do. But I don't recommend. But every case is different. Every every case is different. Like I said, it's a lot of paperwork, man. It requires me drinking this Red Bull, but yeah, it's a lot of paperwork involved. So man, you gotta be, I'm papered up around here. One, two, I keep all my paperwork too. So I keep everything, man. No motion. Man, I got everything, man. I got court dates. I got everything, man. I don't miss nothing. So, I'm on my lawyer right now, but keep all your paperwork important, because everything kind of cross reference. But yeah, you can do this yourself. You don't even need a lawyer, to be honest with you. It's a lot of studying. But yeah, stick to your story, like I said a couple minutes ago. That's gonna be key. And something I'm missing that's real important. Said your narrative, people support you. And yeah, it's gonna probably take, probably like 1 to 3 years to get. It's probably about like 1 to 3 years to for everything that the smoke to clear. And the legal process is lengthy, so it's just yeah, you gotta have some patience and make sure you're making the court dates on time, because as soon as you miss one, it ain't gonna look good on you. So make sure you mostly important got perfect attendance with that, because yeah, you can miss one court day and they could just get all that's canceled. So you gotta do that whole process over again. But it ain't child support. It ain't, I mean, custody. It ain't based off even what people think. Like, it's just as long as you able to provide them three things, like I said, food, clothing, and shelter. And that law, they got some things in between that don't make a lot of sense when you're talking about parenting. But that's it. That's just the basis of it. Like, if you can provide those, you gonna be all right. So just try to make sure you mention that in your motion, because the judge don't know you. Ain't like it's boxes on there where they saying check, do you work or not. They just coming in there, they reading, okay, why you want this and why you want that. So you got to put all that. If you if you've been you got to put, I took the co-parenting class. It's just good to get everything out in your motion the first time, so you don't got to keep going back and modify, because the judge don't know you. So the judge, they don't know you, they don't know her. But you know what I'm saying, make yourself, it look good as possible. The best way you can. All your accolades good. Mention them. Gonna help, cause that's what they gonna weigh it off of. Like, that's the scale. That's why it's called, like a judgment. Like, they gonna look, and hopefully they go this way for you a tip. And try to go for, try if you gonna take the child support route and pay the child support. Just know the custody gonna reduce that. So whatever they get in child support, if you get 50, see, a lot of women don't want us to get 50, men to get 50, because they don't get no child support. The judge, like, that washes away. But a lot of guys don't know that, so they run from the child. They run from this part of it. It is 3 years, but you can go right back to the child support people. Like, what I gotta do is tell them, hey man, y'all gotta reduce that. You gotta ask for, you can ask for that to be reduced. But they ain't gonna. They don't be on three-way calls together. Like, yeah, did you know he just got custody? Yeah, reduce his child support. No, they don't do that. You gotta go tell them that. Like, you gotta go tell the child support, hey, the family courts gave me custody. Reduce that. So they gonna come up with another calculator and go back to the board, and she gonna get nothing. And there's basic child support. It's other child supports. It's a lot of forms of child support, but you gotta tell them that. Like, they don't just get on the phone and call each other and say, hey, he won this case. Reduce the child support. So you gotta do what a lawyer would do, so to speed up the process. So don't think it's sweet and just because you won, like, everything gonna go adjust to like normal. Nah. So you gotta be in contact with three people, like the family courts, the majesty, and wherever you filing your docket. I mean your motion from. So it's like you got three new friends. You gotta start remembering names, fax numbers, and places where to send them to. So that's how it goes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and you gotta constantly call, keep calling. Like, this shit wasn't easy. Like, the day I won, I wasn't even finna go to court. Like, I just got tired of it. Like, this, like, I'm tired of, I was tired of going to court. So, but just stick with it. Make perfect attendance. You gonna look. It's gonna look good in the end. Shit, because a lot of, we up against the odds. And then too, when you do win, you can go get a lot of rights. Like, you can go get your daughter birth certificate. You can go get, you can change the middle name. This give you rights to do a lot. So you can go do a lot. So yeah, that little time you miss, it hurt depending on what stage it is. But in the end, it pay off, because you really ain't no more talking. Like, ain't nobody higher than the judge, not the child support people, nobody. That family court judge, she is the one you have to appeal to, oppress. Because she the one to tell child support, man, get it out of here. Child support got to listen to the judge. The judge got the highest authority, not the little level, not child support, not the caseworkers, the judge. Like, the judge tell everybody, stop it. So that's who you got to appeal to. But before you get to her, you got to go through all these little loops and deal with all these low level people. But she who you got to impress. So my advice is, man, just keep all your paperwork, study. A lot of information available on online, but everybody's situation different. So just go to your local circuit court or district court and ask to speak to somebody that's in these areas. They got pro bono lawyers that do it for free. I'm gonna be honest with you. That pro bono people help me, but me knowing a little something about the legal system and how to argue for myself and advocate, that helped a lot too. Just sticking to your story, sticking to your narrative of why. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When they say the truth will set you free, I really went in there with my whole truth pure. Like I ain't modified my script or nothing. I really got my daughter off what I really wanted her for. So everybody's story different. I just stuck to that, and that's what it was. You know what I mean? I ain't even had to even bash her. Like I just stuck to my gun because I couldn't really talk about that. That would have just made my process long. I just say this is why. Feel me? But yeah, y'all like it, share, comment if it's helpful. I do more as the process continues because I'm in it like I'm going that this from 0 to 50. I'm talking to y'all now. I'm finna go back for 100. So I'm gonna keep y'all updated on how that goes and what the terminology is for that. And if it changes, it changes. But just part one, and I'll give y'all part two. Keep y'all updated. But yeah, man, I'm signing off on that, man. And shout out my man Dope, man. He told me to do this, so John Dope, he the one was like, man, you gotta put that out, man. It's a lot of guys be needing that advice. So yeah, shout out Dope, man. Stop eating. Been around the world and yeah. I've been player hated.